Governor Brian Kemp just wrapped up his final State of the State address at the Georgia Capitol.
Atlanta News First Niamani Watson joins us live from the state capitol with more on what the governor had to say. Niamani.
Governor Brian Kemp talked about his accomplishments since taking office in 2019, including historic investments in infrastructure, workforce development, and keeping state taxes low for Georgians. Now, Governor Kemp says his top priority continues to be making things more affordable and addressing Georgians' concerns over the high cost of living. He says since 2021, working along with the Georgia Assembly, they have provided a total of over $8 billion in tax relief and permanent income tax savings. This year, the governor's budget proposal will include a fourth one-time $1 billion tax rebate that will return or save the average taxpayer $250 and a married couple up to $500. He's also proposing a one-time $2,000 pay supplement for all state employees, including educators and state public safety officers. And when it comes to the economy, the governor says Georgia has maintained its status as the #1 state for business.
Our communities are safer. Unemployment is low. More new private sector jobs are being created every day, and businesses around the country and the world know Georgia is the place to be.
And Governor Kemp ended his address saying it was an honor to serve as governor since this is his final year, thanking people for their support. Reporting live from the state capitol, I'm Niamani Watson, Atlanta News First.